The King in Giallo. Why Suspiria is not a Giallo film. There are numerous reasons why Suspiria is not a Giallo film. But to be fair, there are a good amount of reasons why one may call it such. I'll address these first. If you're a horror fan who classifies any and every Italian horror from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s as Giallo, movies like Mario Bava's Black Sunday, and Black Sabbath, and Lucio Fulci's Zombie, and The House by the Cemetery, then yes, Suspiria is a giallo in the context of the word referring to every Italian horror flick. But true giallo are not really horror, not all the time, not like slashers are. There are numerous types of giallo film, but nearly all of them are focused on mystery, and Suspiria certainly is no exception to this. Giallo films are heavily stylized, and stylistically, Suspiria looks like a giallo, with the bright colors. Colored lights. Vibrant blood. Attention to art. Architecture and fashion, the sex appeal, the camera hiding the killer from the audience but not the victims, the soundtrack, elaborate death scenes, the lead character being a foreigner, a strange clue being what solves the mystery, not to mention a handful of other giallo cliches, such as the blind character. The biggest reason I'd attribute the mislabeling of Suspiria as being a giallo is due to the contributions to the genre by director Dario Argento. It is generally agreed that Argento established the first official giallo film in 1970, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, which set off a golden age of classic giallo films in Italy. The period peaked in 1973, and in 1975, Argento once again ripped the life out of the giallo craze by releasing what is again generally agreed to be the crowning achievement of giallo cinema, Deep Red. Argento essentially bookended the genre. His next film was then Suspiria in 1977. Most people who have seen Italian horror likely began their journey with Suspiria and then branched out to Argento's giallo films. I did. But at the end of the day, Suspiria is not a giallo film. And why is that? Well, in one word, it is because Suspiria is a supernatural horror film. Giallo films are murder mysteries rooted in reality, practically by their definition. The craziness of the various plots is due to the depths of human depravity. The only gialli with a hint of the supernatural are The Psychic by Lucio Fulci, in which a woman is having visions of murders that she believes occurred in the past, and arguably The Short Night of Glass Dolls by Aldo Lado, a presage to Eyes Wide Shut, but with heavy occult themes. A corpse is discovered, but through narrations we instantly realize the man is actually still alive.
Dead? I'm dead? Can't be. I'm alive. And you tell I'm alive?
And he reached this state by trying to uncover what happened to his missing girlfriend. And while these films play with the supernatural, they are still focused on reality and human villains.
I'm telling the truth.
The psychic uses the visions at times to accentuate the gaslighting of the female protagonist,
Senora, please, be kind.
whereas the occultism of Short Night is uncovered through the investigation, and the story unfolds retroactively as the protagonist recounts how he ended up trapped inside his own body at the mercy of a priest of black magic. Short Night of Glass Dolls also properly utilizes in medias res. Suspiria, on the other hand, spoiler alert, is about witches. A coven of witches in a German ballet school. The examples of the supernatural which make Suspiria unequivocally not a giallo film are such: spells,
Helena, give me power. Sickness. Sickness! Away with her! Away with trouble!
I'm pretty sure the assailant is a thrall. I mean, there's certainly a reanimated corpse used as an undead thrall later in the movie. A witch using invisibility. A possible teleportation during the first kill. Silhouettes of witches riding on broomsticks. And the Dance Academy building imploding during the climax. Despite not being a true giallo film, Suspiria is still largely considered the greatest film of Italian horror, the magnum opus of director Dario Argento, and one of the top horror films ever made. Suspiria, without a doubt, has some of the most intense and evocatively memorable imagery in cinematic history, and is a staple of horror, Italian cinema, and films of the 1970s. Fun fact: Argento had written the film to be about 12-year-old girls, but was persuaded to make them adults due to the brutal and macabre kills which occur. Argento always intended Suspiria to be a sort of Disney-style horror film. More on Suspiria in a future video. But the confusion is understandable. Many films that draw on heavy influences from giallo films may be mislabeled as giallo films. To name a few other films that borrow heavily from the genre but are not giallo films: Scream, The Neon Demon, Malignant, Last Night in Soho, Alice, Sweet Alice, and many of the films by Brian De Palma. Side note, I do classify De Palma's Dress to Kill as the only American-made giallo film, and I will talk about this in the future. Upcoming content includes my giallo history video and full giallo cliches breakdown for the future Gialli Tali. Thank you so much for watching. Please smash the like button, ring the notification bell icon, and drop a comment down below with any questions, thoughts, curiosities, or concerns. And if you like my content and want to see more giallo videos, including my upcoming Gialli Tali videos, please subscribe to The King in Giallo. See you next time.
No, Petrini!
Yes, Inspector?
What's this character doing here? How many times do I have to tell you Ursula Andress belongs with the transvestites, not the perverts?
Well, I should hope so.
You were speeding.
I was speeding because I'm in a hurry.
Please, let me see your license, signore.
No. So frig you.
You insulted an officer.
Because I need you. You come with us. No, you come with me.
Hey, wait a minute.